Hey, we're just going to be doing tonight's Thursday night live reading. So, over on Instagram, we're just going to be talking about a general reading, but over on Spiritual Events Directory, we're going to be doing, hey. On Spiritual Events Directory, I'm going to be answering questions. So, Spiritual Events Directory is on Facebook. So for those of you, hi Sharon, for those of you that are on Instagram, it's going to be a look into the week ahead. So let's start picking some cards and we'll wait for some other people to jump on Spiritual Events Directory on Facebook. Let me just see, we'll pick some cards for the collective for the week. So what do we need to know with this upcoming week? Okay, I'm seeing the energy of Saturn come in as I pick this first card. Okay, which one do we want? This one, this one. Oh, there's three. Okay, so we've got the three. So let me just flip these around. And we might also do some clarifying cards too. We'll just have a check-in. Hey, Catherine. So we're just doing the weekly spread at the moment. Hey, Gerard. Lovely to see you all on here. Hi, everyone on Instagram. All right, so we will be answering some questions soon on Facebook Spiritual Events Directory. All right, so let's have a look for the coming week. We're just tuning into these energies. So I'm just using psychometry to tune into the energy of it. So what I was saying before was I was seeing Saturn's influence. So I just saw the planet Saturn. The other thing that I'm also feeling, hey Daniel, I'm seeing the energy of what feels to me like the sun. So whether there's some kind of like planetary alignment with Sun and Saturn, but I just feel like things heating up. That's the image and the feeling and sensation that I'm getting. So let's also have a look. We'll be doing some cards soon. So I'll be taking some names on Spiritual Events Directory on Facebook. So the energy that I'm seeing is like things getting heated. I'm seeing sort of like people, like their passion and everything's coming out too. So the other energy that I get, and whether this is because I have a lot of clients in America, it could also be like based around the election. So whether there's still more to come to light and, you know, things are getting a little bit more heated, I'm seeing an energy kind of shifting with that, and maybe Saturn kind of like, you know, clearing a little bit of a pathway. Let's see, what else we get? The other thing that I'm seeing with this middle card, which was sort of like mid next week, they're going like this into the heart area. And I feel like it's sort of like tapping in or tuning into the heart. So things are going from possibly like feeling a little bit heated, feeling like Saturn might be stirring some things up, and the sun's energy. So whether there's like any solar flare activity, which also sometimes can also be a little bit of Schumann resonance, and then sort of like going into those heart energies. So going into kind of like a deeper emotional journey or like emotional purging. The other thing that I'm feeling towards the end of the week seems to be gold. So whether it's a higher solar or spiritual inspiration, the other thing I'm also seeing towards the end of the week is angelic energies around. So let's flip these cards. Oh, this is funny. So this is the card I got for when we were talking about the, hi Sarah. This is the card I got from when we were talking about like that solar energy coming in. So I also did see Saturn. It is a Chariot's card too. So things are really starting to speed up. This is Prince of Wands too. So this is also like some kind of like spiritual evolution or spiritual transformation. There is a phoenix rising from the ashes. So I do feel, and we were talking about, you know, in America, and we were talking about like the presidential thing, whether there is going to be a rising from the ashes moment. This is kind of like what this card is speaking at this particular point in time. There was something to do with a Saturn alignment as well. The other thing that we have on this is, yeah, there's Phoenix energy, there's Lion. So this is about leadership. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what happens over this coming week. Hi Joel, good to see you on here. So the other card that we have for like tapping into that inner heart, and we're talking about like transformation, we have the Princess of Discs. So this is like close to the earth. This is kind of like going through like that warrior stage. You can see here and over on Instagram, she has that yin yang. She is like correcting a state of balance. So whether it's flipping things on its head, you can see the trees are upside down in this. So she's had to go through like an inner transformation, an inner warriorship. There's a lot of yellow in the background too. So this feels like she's kind of like learned lessons. She's kind of, you know, tapping into this. You can see it's sort of like an Aries energy with this. So Aries is also like connected to do with Mars. So she's kind of like, it's that divine feminine, but she's coming in very strong, almost like a masculine. Yeah, it's interesting because it has the icosahedron sacred geometry in this too. So we can see down here, and I'll just show you on Facebook too, down here, this geometric shape, there's power coming from this. So when she kind of like turns things on its head and she starts to like summon this power within her, she's able to, you know, create different things onto the earth, because the icosahedron represents that manifestation through sacred geometry on the earth. So it's very much bringing something down from like a higher spiritual level, bringing about change too. And this final card that we have towards the end of the week, and I was sort of tuning into what felt like I was seeing like angelic energies and different things. So whether we will be needing like a little bit more support come the end of the week. I haven't had a look yet at what the astrology is doing, but this is the card of sorrow. This to me is swords. So this is sometimes like about overthinking, sometimes over intellectualizing things. We do have Saturn's influence in this, remembering we were talking about Saturn in this spread. So that's very interesting. There's Libra too. So this is kind of like about balance. I feel very much this week that this could be connected to do with, you know, presidency stuff, to do with the US, which is also what I was talking about leading up to the election, that it wouldn't be decided straight away. So that prediction did come about. That's also highly linked to do with astrology and things too. We have what seems to be the snake coiled around the bottom of this sword too. There's a lot of green energy, so there could be some sorrows like around the heart. You can see green in here. The yellow is like words spoken, so we want to make sure that we clear. Hi Drew. Hi Shaka. We want to make sure that we're clearing the throat chakra, that we're saying things that are for our best and highest good. And I'm also seeing kind of like a purging of a pineal gland, but I am still seeing the kundalini energy kind of like tightly coiled as well. So there is some kind of like initial achievement or growth. So it's almost like sticking that sword into the ground. Let's get some clarifying cards to just give us like a little bit more explanation on this. And there's one I feel jumping out of here. Okay, so we've got 3 cards. So we'll flip these over because this is a different deck. And let's see what we've got. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I love this. All right. So we have the High Priestess. This is kind of like the balance of left and right, the inner and the outer, the esoteric and the esoteric, the dark versus the light. Very, very, very interesting if you're keeping in tune with like what's happening with things over in America at the moment. This very strongly resonates. So we will be doing individual cards soon for people over on Spiritual Events Directory on Facebook. Right now we're just doing the collective reading for the coming week. The other card that we have is the Empress. So remembering we had the Princess of Disc too, 2 very powerful feminine energies set to kind of like rise. This is about standing in your power. This is about kind of like knowing your truth. It's about trusting your intuition. It's very much like Venus energy too. And the other one that we have is this 7 of Cups. I feel like there's a couple of different choices and things you can see here. The other thing that this is about too is kind of like faith in the unseen. See how the man is kind of like in the shadow aspect. So he's sort of like doing that, possibly the dark night of the soul. And this is that kind of like treasure to, Joel's saying the forces of nature. Yeah, so it is kind of like the forces of nature in that you can see that this is manifesting or materializing, but we need to have faith in that unseen. You can see that it's up in the clouds. There is a green kind of like heart aspect to it. So we need to like trust our heart, trust our gut in this situation. There's various different things manifesting now. So what is it that you're looking at manifesting? Because you're definitely coming into high power is what I see around this. So I feel that there's 2 things going on. There's kind of the background of the election stuff happening in the States. As I said before, a lot of my clients are in the States. So this could potentially be why our energy is getting pulled in this way for some of the cards. So for those that you have just joined us, we had the Sun and the Saturn energy. We also had the Princess of Disc, and we had the Sorrow card, which is about balance and Saturn and things. So for anyone that missed it, I highly recommend to go back and let's pick a card. So I'll pop these back in the deck and we will pick a card. Drew's saying, but I'm a man. Yes. So you can still step into that divine feminine, which is actually, you know, the intuition. So definitely like tuning into your gut, tuning into your heart. Oh, cool. And Sarah's saying she feels like this is for you. Great. And what we'll do is I do have this deck of cards, which is the Divine Feminine. So we will pick a card out of this, and we also have a Kuan Yin deck. I felt like we needed to pick a few more for collective at the moment too. All right, where is... Sometimes you'll get where it feels like the deck is singing. There's two that are jumping out in this one. All right. This is funny. As I was flipping the card, I'm like, I hope that I can pronounce this. So we've got Kahaljija. So both these goddesses, I cannot pronounce the names. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but no intention there. The mother of believers, I'm spiritually, financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth. I provide heaven and earth for myself. So you can see this beautiful energy. And look at the power, like she's cloaked in this reddy color. She has the abundance of the necklace, the solar disc behind her head. So she's in sun energy. And we also have another solar one here. Look at this. Two of them standing in their power. They have this beautiful spiritual halo. So this other one that we have is Andana Dam May. I'm so sorry, I could not pronounce this. And it's Anandamai, and the separate word Ma. Andani Maya, the joy permeated mother, which is interesting. That speaks to me of energy. It speaks to me of kind of like a, yeah, it is like a talisman. This speaks to me of a cellular level. This is like joy permeating on a cellular level. So it says, I am my own guru. I know thyself that never changes. So this is about knowing that, you know, our energy, like what do we put our joy into as well, I feel with this one. But yeah, very beautiful cards. And let's just pick a Kuan Yin card. There is one of them jumping out to me. The many hands of the goddess. So this is a very much goddess, feminine, intuitional dominated reading tonight. So this also to me, I keep seeing like the image of pies. And what I mean by that is like many fingers, like many hands, many different directions. So, you know, that saying about, you know, having your fingers in many different pies. So, oh, cool. Sarah's saying she loves that saying, I am my own guru. And I think that is an amazing one to live by. Let's have a look at the meaning of this card. I'll just look this up because it is an oracle card. And okay, so the goddess Kuan Yin brings blessings to the multiple projects and many different parts of your life and consciousness. Beloved, she is not limited to one task at a time. Do not be afraid to surrender into her guiding wisdom and creative genius now, for there is much that you can accomplish together, and she wants to assist you. We will often create well when focused on one project at a time, seeing it through to completion and then tending to the next one. Sometimes our attention may be stretched across numerous projects, especially if you have a lot of natural creative energy at your disposal. You may worry that you are being stretched out beyond your capacity to be productive, that your energy is being dissipated by flipping from one project to another, and that you are not yet complete, that you have not yet complete anything. The guidance from the goddess Kuan Yin is to release your worries and intentions to her, to let her guide you. When you feel strong to work on a particular project, perhaps focus on that one at that particular time. When you strongly feel, or perhaps one at a time, when you feel to step back from it, rest, do so. In the rest, you will be replenished, you will gain new perspective and return to the creative work with being more productive. It is an essential part of the process. So trust that she is uplifting, guiding and instructing you through your own intuition so that your creative projects, creative desires will manifest with the highest of wisdom in the best order and timing. You do not have to worry about having to have many logs on the fire. You just need to let Kuan Yin guide you and follow her impulses faithfully. And for those of you at home, she's actually, like, I can feel her energy present as we're reading about her. So just tuning into the energy of this card and the energy of Kuan Yin. Hello to those that are joining us now. Do not be afraid to surrender projects to her, even if they seem to be taken out of your hands for a time. When the time is right, they will come to you, perhaps in a revised form that more aligned with your divine essence, with many hands of the goddess assisting you through trusting heart. You You will accomplish more than you thought possible, assisted by the universe in ways of seen and unseen. Healing through the many hands of the goddess, close your eyes and perceive many armed Kuan Yin shining brightly above the crown of your head, intended to rise through the crown of your head to meet with her and say, many divine, many armed mother, bless my projects and desires so that I may manifest unconditional love and power. I trust your guidance through my heart. Namaste, beloved. Om Mani Padme Hum. And you can say that as an affirmation. You can say it as a mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Intend to hand over your desires, your projects, your manifestations to her. Now seeing her take one in each of her limitless number of hands and being aware that she blesses you on your crown. So she's giving a blessing to the crown chakra. So when you are ready, say thank you and open your eyes. Oh, I just had a tickle on my crown chakra as we talk about it. So it says, she will bless you on the crown, on the forehead and the heart, with 3 of her other sacred hands. So it's important to have faith, and we had that before in the other card. I think it was the 7 of Cups. We had faith in the unseen, which is all about like trusting gut and intuition. So this is kind of like a way out, is what I'm feeling to the energies and density of perhaps the next coming week. So listen closely to your heart, have faith in the inner impulses over the coming days, weeks and months, and your creations shall be sublime. So there's a prayer to the many hands of the goddess, hands that heal and bless, hands that lift and strengthen, hands that guide and hands that protect. Om Kuan Yin, many armed goddess of mercy and compassion, I receive your blessings and assistance now. For my highest good, so be it. Om Mani Padme Hum. So that's a beautiful one. The other thing, just before closing off from the general reading, is they are just guiding me to ask, yes, that's right, Joel. And I cannot pronounce Avankite Savara as well, but I know the goddess that you're talking about. I think she's also connected with bringing the light too. I think she's possibly the Japanese goddess, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. So let's pick a card. We're asking for a way in which to pull in. Oh, there's 2 here. Okay, so this is about cycles and times. This is about going deeper into the shadow self. This is about a birthing process. We have the card of the moon, and as you can see, the sun is going up through this birth canal. We also have these gatekeepers that are Anubis. So one of them holds the key to Mercury in the hand, while the other holds another key. So they're Ankh-like keys. So we also have the scarab beetle too. So there's something to do with like cycles and rhythms. This card comes up for me not just to do with like shadow work and like looking in the depth. Thank you, Joel. And this comes up for me sometimes to do with past life energies as well. So the way to pull through the energies of the coming week is possibly to tap into power and strength from past life, or it might even be non-linear, multidimensional aspects of ourself is also what I'm hearing Spirit say. But you can see there is like birthing and that alignment energy. I also feel that this possibly could be to do with the twin sun energies too, but we have the card of the priestess. And with the little symbol that we have here too, this is kind of like being bent and being humble. This little Hebrew glyph that we have on the bottom, it represents sort of like bowing to spirit, but feeling the spirit and the energy of the creator kind of shine within. This to me speaks of like Sagittarian energy, but it's like transcending that need to take aim and take fire, and trusting and knowing when you put out to the universe that it will be received, the message will be received. And it's really about like bringing it down. The word that I'm hearing them say is graduation. So thinking about this week being some kind of like a spiritual graduation, if we can kind of get through and surf with the positive waves. So thank you to everyone joining on Instagram. I'm going to say goodbye. Please jump over to Spiritual Events Directory on Facebook if you would like to join us there and ask questions. So for those of you that have stuck with me on Spiritual Events Directory, what we're going to do now is take some names, and we're also going to answer some questions. So I'm just flicking this over on Instagram. And we should be done. Cool. So let's start taking some names. All right, so someone's asking if we should. Oh, thank you for sharing, Kiara, I think, or Kiara. Let's have a look. I'm just going to go where Spirit is guiding me. So you can ask if you want more than once, but generally, like, Spirit will guide me to like where I need to go. Oh, hey, Casey. All right, I'm going to go to Catherine Naylor first. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Just going to. Sorry, guys, we have a spammer on here. Cool, and that is just ticking over now. So let's have a look. Catherine, where are you? I'm just seeing if you've written a message. So we had Catherine Naylor. Let's pick a card for you. And I'll just write some names down. Oh, cool. Okay, so Ray Louise, we also want to ask, so Rita, I'd love to know what you see for me finishing my degree. I think you were saying in regards to business. Let me just see where your message has just gone. I'm just going to pick a card for you quickly just so that we don't lose that energy. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to flip this. All right, so this is about diving in. This is about taking a plan of action. It is the Knight of Swords. So I am seeing like with your heart in it, if your heart is in it, you know, diving in, taking that inspiration, it's cutting through the air too. So this is kind of like making a plan because it's the Swords card. So try not to like overthink things, really start to like look at what you can do to kind of like ground and carve out a pathway is what I'm feeling with that. So I hope that that helps. What we will go now is just going to see where we're. All right, so we've got Thelma, Valamis, and we've got Kerry Addison. We've got Diane, and it's Muzyezka, I think. All right, so we'll start with those ones. So let's pick one for Catherine Naylor to start with. All right, let's see what Spirit has for Catherine. All right, so we've got two cards that have come out. Okay, so the energy that I'm seeing with Catherine is, I feel like this is, it's like pondering or thinking is the energy. The other thing that I'm also seeing is there's some kind of like reflection going on. So whether you've been like thinking about something, reflecting on something from the past, but what Spirit is doing is trying to take me through that reflection into something in the future. So whether this sort of like sits for you at the moment, I'll flip these cards. Oh, this is interesting. We have a One of Cups, so there might be something like maybe wanting to start a new beginning. The other thing that we have too is we have Jupiter in Libra. Libra is that sort of like weighing up of things. Sometimes it can be that energy of, you know, undecided or like feeling that you're reflecting on that past energy. It is a Four of Swords card as well. So you can see from this, there is the purple spiritual background. There's like a lot of static electricity here. To me, this speaks of sort of like, it's also to do with like stability, stagnation. To me, this energy is kind of like interfering. We need to like quieten this. We need to focus on the heart. And that's where the swords are pointing. So when we focus on the heart, we can get into this expanded Jupiter state of energy. And I'll just see if there's anything else we need to see. But yeah, when you do that, I feel this is when we get the new beginnings come through. So really, really, really powerful energy. But there needs to be kind of like that letting go of the past and sort of like using that reflection to shoot you through to that new beginning. So I hope that that helps, Catherine. That was what was coming up for today. And let's quickly pick a goddess card for you. Oh, Kali. So Kali is a mother goddess. She's also one that's connected to do with like clearing out things that are no longer there for your best and highest good. So whether this is about past people, past situations, old stagnant energies like we had in the other card come up too. So it says, the mother of the universe, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So I do feel that there's positivity and new blessings and things when you step through to this energy. So interesting. Thelma Valamis, let's pick a card for you. All right. This is interesting. With Thelma, the first thing I'm going to is I feel throat energy around this. So what I mean by this is my throat feels kind of like a little bit scratchy and a little bit like, oh, it's not, yeah, there's just something sitting there. So whether you've got something on the throat that you need to speak up, they're actually saying like something on the mind as well. So whether it's like something, on the mind side of things, but feeling like it's imparting on the physical body. So we'll flip this. We have the card of success. With this though, this is sort of like slow and steady wins the race in this card to me, because it's a Taurus energy. So it's the divine kind of like mother nurturer energy, but like she's taking it in her own time. There is like a sense of stubbornness sometimes with this. There's certain things that kind of have to feel like they're in place in order for that Taurian energy to kind of click in and to feel comfortable. But when things line up, they line up beautifully. So just making sure that you're not waiting too long, or you're not sort of like holding back, pondering on things, and not, how would I say, not kind of like letting that stagnation happen. And this is something around like an earth thing as well, because it is a disc one. So just looking at like where things might be a little bit stagnant around like earth energies and different things. And we will pick a goddess card for you. Oh, we have Marguerite Porite. So the mystic of the divine love. Love is divine. I am nothing except love. So this could also be about like that self-nurturing and love. We do have like a rosy cross in the center of this. And it is Venus, Taurus energy. So that is also like connected to do with love too. So interesting. So Kerry Addison, let's pick a card for you. All right. So as I'm shuffling, what I'm feeling for you, Kerry, is I feel your guides around, and I feel like they're waiting to see you make a move. Whether you've been pondering on a few different kind of like outcomes, or like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? The energy of what I'm seeing feels to me like, oops, this is coming out. We've got this, the card of completion. So whether there's a cycle or something that's coming to an end, or whether you feel that something feels about to finish off, or whether it's even that the decision will be taken out of your hands and you will have kind of like that complete energy. This has Venus energy. It also has Aries energy. Oh, you're welcome, Thelma. So yeah, we have this heart color in here with a bit of fire and passion. So whether there's a couple of different options for you, I'm getting spirit like touch me on the head as we're talking about this. I'm not sure if spirit's been coming to you through the week, or you're feeling like that spirit around you in regards to making a decision. They're showing me like 3 to 4 like different pathways at the moment. So whether you felt like things are a little bit up in the air, or like a little bit of like indecision, I'm feeling like Libra energy around this. So let's also pick a goddess card for you. Oh, the same one. This is a love energy too. So Marguerite Porite, and it says the mystic of divine love. Love is divine, and I am nothing except love. So really turn that attention inward on yourself. Fill yourself up with that love energy. Also using that, this is also about intellect too, in a way. So it's like, you might even want to mind map. You might even want to, just like tap in and kind of like write a formula, pros and cons for making decisions. Maybe look at like, like a 5-year plan, different things like that, and then backward engineer. So let's pick a card for Diane. And for you, Diane, they are picking a goddess card first. So let's have a look at this. And this is around health. The thing that I'm getting around health so far, when I start to tap into your energy, I feel like I'm getting some kind of like feeling around here. And what I mean by that is I feel like there's like a warm feeling, like I feel like a little bit flushed, or like inflammation. I'm feeling a little bit on my left hand side of my body. It feels kind of like in my lymph. And what I mean by the lymph is, so if we look at the underlying illness and disease aspect of things, a lot of the time lymph will be that. So when we have inflammation in the body, sometimes it's to do with like toxicity in our sewage system, which is the lymphatic system. So I'm feeling a little bit of that in there. The other thing that I'm feeling too is it's around kind of like chest area. It was almost like a little bit kind of like refluxy or like a little bit of nausea in a way, is like some of the energy that I'm feeling. Oh, beautiful. So Diane is saying that your last name means music in Polish. That is gorgeous. So we have uh, Inanna, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So looking at how this might apply in relation to health. So this might be about like self-love and acceptance. It might be looking at little ways each day that you can give yourself that love. So whether it's, you know, doing something healthy like a beautiful herbal tea that will help, you know, with detoxification. Remembering we had lymph come up. And again, I'm not a doctor. So this is just general, you know, general cards that are speaking. We just had a card fall out of the deck. This is the card of gain, but I dyslexiccally saw it as health. So this is, to me, it speaks of like just getting everything kind of lined up. So whether this is about getting tests and different things done, I feel like it's trying to get to like a resolution is the energy that I get with this. But you can see that there is something happening on a deeper cellular level. Sometimes to me, this green will also come up to do with the lymphatic energy as well. So we did talk about that. This is a 9 too, so sometimes, and it's to do with like physical side of things, so interesting energy. Sometimes this will also come up like around like fulfillment or sort of like a completion type energy. So whether you're like close to finding out about something connected to do with health, because we were asking in regards to health. So interesting energies for you. Let's have a look. We'll grab some more people's names and we'll take some more questions. All right, so we have Kat Rogers, and we have Michelle Zadravsky. I hope I'm saying your name right, Michelle. So wondering if there is any turning point for here or anything that Spirit wants to share. So that's what it is. And we have Janine Brody. And we have Haley Marie. And Marlene Case. All right. Oh, we'll pop this card back in. So we're picking one for Kat Rogers at the moment. Hi, Stephen. All right. Dana, I feel to add you on the list as well. So we have Dana Michelle. Oh, Michelle. The name Michelle's coming up, whether it's first or last names, just a little bit today. Ah, yeah. Cool. All right. So Kat, let's pick a card for you. What does Spirit want you to know today? What is that we need to look into? Okay, so the energy that I'm seeing as I'm shuffling this, it feels to me kind of like swimming pool energy. And I feel like I want to kind of just like hop in. But there's something to do with, it's like a grace and a peace. Like I feel that there's this very feminine energy behind this. It's like I want to immerse myself in this divine feminine energy. So I'm not sure if that relates to something that you might be feeling at the moment. There's like a desire, I'm hearing Spirit say, to go deeper. And it's like when you trust that and you start to get deeper on things, I'm seeing Spirit reward you. So let's flip this card. And this is the Queen of Swords. So look at this. This to me does speak of going deeper because she's pulling off the mask. So this is to stop thinking about things and to kind of like take action around it. Reveal like who it is that you really are. So whether there's a situation that you're feeling that you've had to remain hidden, to do that kind of like ritual, to bathe in that like divine feminine energy and to emerge like in this beautiful state of vulnerability. Look at this. Even though she has a sense of like armor in a way. Like you can see her belt is metal. The blue is representative sometime of communication, sometimes healing. The clouds are still clear. They're not dark and stormy. This to me feels like a good, swift change. And I'm hearing them say the word swift. There's like a liberation as well that we have in the top of this. And you can see just from like that top part of her, there's that beautiful exposed chest, that nurturer, that mother energy, that true divine feminine energy. So let's quickly pick you a card. Oh, they're sticking together. It's like a few want to jump out of the goddess ones. Oh my God. This is so funny. I swear sometimes when the cards come out, you know, a couple of times in a row for people, that it's like spirit is like, okay, this message is for the collective. So Inanna, the queen of heaven and earth, I have nothing to hide. Remember that was on the card. She was like taking that, you know, that chest plate off. So I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So this is about that purifying, cleansing ritual. It's about, you know, stepping into that pool. So let's pick a card for, that was for Kat. So Michelle Trasvard. I'm sorry, Michelle. I know you pronounced it on here. It's gone a little far back in my comments to find it. Thank you. So let's have a look for you, Michelle. And this was on a turning point, or like what wanted to come up from spirit. So let's have a look. We'll get to some more questions soon. All right. All right, so I'm feeling this card. The energy that I'm getting feels gold to me. I feel like this is about trusting like a higher source energy. And I feel that it's almost like the sun is shining on you. So it's like, even though it might feel sometimes like a bit of a darker, deeper energy, they're just talking about like knowing that, oh, thanks, Kat. So Kat saying that makes perfect sense. Thank you. So what I'm feeling for you, Michelle, is there's the energy of the sun kind of like shining. But what they're showing me, it's like a button, like clicking on and off. So whether there's something at the moment to do with like feeling up and then feeling down, or sort of like cycles and different things, I feel that there could even possibly be a little bit of a hormonal thing going on, possibly even looking into like getting, you know, serotonin and things measured. Because I just feel like it's like, I feel like I'm here and then I feel like I'm there. Or I feel sort of like happy and then I feel kind of stuck. So whether it could be like a hormonal thing. Also, let's have a flip. So we have the Princess of Cups. Yeah, this is about like, you know, really nurturing yourself. It's about trusting your intuition. It's the princess energy. So there is some kind of like innocence with her as well. But there's some kind of just, how would I say, like purity. With her too. She's like a nurturer. You can see her, the way she's cradling this shell and this wisdom of the turtle or the tortoise in here. We have the lotus flower, which is sort of looks like medicine in this, which sometimes can also represent that DMT, you know, third eye opening, where we see this swan on her head as well. That's also connected with this. It's like there's, you know, we're over here in spirit world and then we're here like on the physical. There's a few different things going on. So yeah, Michelle's also saying definitely hormonal thing too. That's what I'm feeling, and spirit's going like this in regards to like hormonal type things. I feel like it's almost like a pendulum energy sort of swinging back one way or the other. So they're talking about we need to stabilize like the hormonal side of things. So possibly asking, hi Claire, possibly asking the doctor for a methylation test. So not all doctors do methylation test, but it is something that more integrative doctors do, but they're able to check for hormonal levels. They can check for depression. They can sometimes like mitigate or control it through nutritional supplements. So sometimes you can be low on magnesium, which most of Western society is low on magnesium and selenium. So yeah, there's a deeper energy to step into, and I feel that it's to gain more control over that is the direction that spirit wants to take you. And I feel that this will also propel you further forward when you get the hormones under control. It will help to be kind of like that energy motivation that you need, because I feel that this is also making you feel tired and that up and down energy. So let's pick a goddess card for you. The other thing I just saw quickly was barley coming up. So whether barley is significant to you, I felt like a third eye activation when I said that, or whether this is something coming up to do with the future, but they were showing me a barley energy. So we have Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets us free. I am married to my own soul. So this is really about like looking after yourself first. So you might have others that you're looking after. So it's definitely time to start nurturing, start looking after yourself. And we talked about that sun energy around the head before as well. Look at this. It's like a sun energy disc around her. So let's move on to Janine Brody. Oh, this just popped out for you, Janine. So we have this card, the card of lust. This to me speaks of needing to sort of like get the higher self energy going. So really like meditating, working more with this like higher self energy. And my fingers just like naturally tracing around this. I feel to get into a hypnotic loop is the energy that I'm feeling with this. I feel like I'm literally stepping into my hypnotherapy voice that I do sometimes in my meditations. Yeah, there's something around, you get to choose like what you program yourself with is what I feel in this. Quieting the voice of others. See how we've got like she's lassoed and it looks to be like the head of a lion, which seems all powerful, and I'm still feeling that meditation hypnosis energy with this. So possibly you have some maybe it's even about using those powers of hypnosis to, you know, to tame this beast, to tame those Michelle's saying, she's laughing, saying that she'd been thinking of going to Bali, and yes, definitely need to look after yourself. Thank you so much for reading and the suggestion on getting hormones tested. You're welcome, lovely. Good luck with it all, and enjoy Bali too. So we have this kind of like birthing energy process. So sometimes when we have like hypnotherapy come up, it can also be looking at like what no longer serves you. So this can be about decluttering the mind, getting rid of old things is what I feel here, to give you more energy and attention to focus on different projects that inspire you. You need to birth new things in the world and to step into this gorgeous creative energy that's coming up. The other thing they're getting me to pick is a card from my other tarot deck. So we'll pick that quickly. Oh, hello from New Zealand. Oh, Kerry, you're saying your phone went flat. I did get to you, so you might need to go back to maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and you'll have a little message on here. So this one is for Janine, and we have, oh, this is, yeah. So we have the Six of Pentacles. So we were just talking about like that energy of, what was it, like balance, or sort of like that lassoing energy to do with spirit. This, you can sort of see there's this man handing out like rations and different things, and this is sort of like something around the earth. Sometimes it can be kind of like transcending difficulties. So, you know, looking at like where that push pull has been, where it feels like that you've needed to like harness a certain area of life. This does feel like there is a little bit of change, perhaps like a little bit of balance returning, and maybe like a little bit of an adjustment, because we do have this Libra type energy with this. This is on a physical level as well. So the other thing that we have is this kind of like nobleman. He has a smile on his face as he's feeding the peasants or the poor, and you can see he's giving them what looks to be coins. But I also sometimes see this as breadcrumbs. And you can see that the peasants are kind of in tatters, where he's kind of like dressed quite nobly. So he's kind of looking to provide balance and share things out a little bit, is what I sort of see like in this card. So hope that that helps. And Haley Marie, let's pick a card for you. We'll get to some more questions soon. Talia, how are you? I'll pop your name on the list. Talia King, and Jen from New Zealand, Jen Tipia. Or Tipa, it might be. So Haley, let's have a look for you. Okay. Ooh, is the energy I just get. Not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like a release. So I felt like I was breathing in, and I was holding and storing emotion in chest. Asking yourself at the moment, placing your hand over your heart and over your chest, what is it that I'm holding? What is it that no longer serves me? What is it that I'm allowed to let go of and release? And I feel that this is if there's something not there for your best and highest good. We'll flip this card. Yeah, there's a period of an adjustment. So whether you're feeling that life is changing at the moment, or you're getting used to something, or there's possibly been a change just come in. So this can also represent justice too. So there is healing coming. I do feel that it's around the heart. So having a look into that. Nurture yourself first is the energy that I'm feeling with this. We also have a Libra balance energy in this. And we also have the energy of Mat, the Egyptian sky, the Egyptian goddess as well. So she's blind in here as well. She's blindfolded and she's standing on tippy toes, but yet she's still keeping balance. So I feel to like heal the energies of the heart. And let's see what we have here. Let me just shuffle these. Okay, I just got told to pick up the bottom of the deck. And we have Umoja, the goddess of all that flows. I am the ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Look how gorgeous this is. I feel that this is a reminder to step back in and get in touch with yourself, that watery, beautiful nature, because we have this mermaid energy with this goddess. Look at that light shining out of her. You know, be inspired by that creativity, that balance. Do things like your own way and heal your own way. Look at this. Look at that energy coming out of her heart. And we talked about releasing energies around the heart too. So that's pretty cool. Let's just pop that back in. So that was for Haley. Marlene Case, let's have a look for you. Oh, and Janine was saying that you're just starting to get back into your meditations again. Makes so much sense. I'm trying to work on myself. Good. You're doing really well. Oops, we just had a card fly out for Marlene. So for anyone that is wanting the fly. So for anyone that is wanting a one-on-one reading with me, I do have a couple of appointments coming up for next week. So bookings in international time zones, they'll appear on your end of the world for your time zone and correspond to my Melbourne times. So we have a couple of days to choose from, not too many at the moment, but yeah. So my booking link is in this description. Let's flip this card for you, Marlene. All right, we have the last card come up again. This is like that Leo leadership energies. So this is also about like a sense of needing to birth something different and perhaps like not be distracted is what I feel with this. So whether there's an idea, an inspiration, or even possibly like, you know, working with family, and what I mean by that is perhaps like in preparation to do with Christmas or different things. I feel like it's trying to not get distracted, or whether the card is also speaking about like getting organized is also like what I feel with this energy. Let's pick you a goddess card. The other thing that I did get as soon as I went into the goddess cards were I did get taken to like stomach area. So whether there's been any digestive things for you or any kind of like nausea type feeling, I did feel that a little bit. They're just talking about possibly watching out for if there's any kind of like food intolerances. I feel like there's a couple of things that might just be upsetting the tummy. So just take note of that. And sometimes we don't actually realize what foods irritate our stomach until we take them out too. So then we get that kind of clarity, we get that mental clarity and that physical clarity. So you have the goddess Diana, queen of the wilderness. The language of the natural world is the frequency of love. The mother is, this is my mother tongue. Look at how powerful and beautiful she is. So that's Diana. She's also the goddess of fertility, connected to do with the earth too. So this would also speak of what I was saying before, like in preparation to do with like Christmas and things, and the coming together to do with the family energy is what I felt with that. So let's have a look for, I think it was it Jan or Dan? Let me just jump back in to have a look. Oh, so this is Dana. Sorry, I left an A off your name. So let's jump in and have a look for you, Dana. This card is coming up. Oops, nearly lost part of a deck. So we have the Prince of Swords. This to me speaks of like possibly like love energy at the moment, possibly trying to control things, or maybe it's occupying the thoughts, because this is a sword card as well. So having a look at like, what is your dominant thought at the moment? What is kind of like drawing your attention? Is this healthy? Because at the moment, like what your thoughts are focusing attention to is kind of manifesting or creating reality. We can see there's an icosahedron here, which is the platonic solid shape for manifesting. So we want to make sure if we're feeling something, that's not programming it if it's a negative thing. We want to make sure what we feel and what we flow, we're programming it to drive us ahead. Because the chariots are really about like, full speed ahead. It's, it's a prince energy as well. So this is kind of like, looking at like acting on this, because there's also like this harvest energy too. So not only is he sort of like, holding the sword back to the past, but there's like it's called a sickle, this little tool here, this like little wheat slasher harvester thing. So this is about like getting ready to harvest the result of like putting your manifesting power at use. So let's get a card for you from the Goddess deck. And we have Mary Magdalene. Ooh. So the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. And remembering she was said to be the favorite, and I'm getting spirit touch me all over the head as we say this. So this is stepping into that divine creative feminine energy when you're thinking about manifestation. So beautiful card. So let's just pick one for Talia King. Oh, this is, could give this card a deck a bit of a shuffle. Let me see. We just had deck full. Let me get these cards off the floor. Okay. So there was one that fell face up, and I picked one out of the deck. So it's like one from like where I felt guided, and one from like where spirit was showing up too. So we have this card, the card of strength, and these are so similar. So this is where I was feeling guided, and this is what spirit wanted to show. I feel it's going from dark to light. And you can see the card of strength. We have Sagittarian, we have Leo energy, the same message in this card, and these are wands card as well. So this is like staying true, like from physical self connected to spiritual self. You can see there's an illumination happen with this card, and you can see there's like a star chakra energy in the middle. So we have, it is a 7. So let's start with this. There is Mars Leo energy with this too. And you can see there's a blue lotus on it. There's a spiritual purple background. This sometimes can mean doing like an inner vision quest to see the truth in something. And that's what this is speaking to me at the moment. So it can be reflection, or kind of like faith in the unseen, or kind of like a discovery type thing. The energy that we have with the 9, the strength card, is kind of like that completion or fulfillment stage. So it's almost like, getting ready to kind of like celebrate is some of the energy that we have with this. And let's pick you a card out of the Kuan Yin deck. So we have weave the future golden. So how can you weave this? Like you're almost at that kind of like state of fulfillment, or kind of like that state of, like that revealing of the unseen energy. But this is about like you actually choosing to step forward and to paint this golden energy into your future. They're showing me like a basket weaver type thing. All right, Marlene's saying, thank you. Yes, I do have stomach issues. So yeah, sending you some love and healing around that, and hope that sorts out for you soon. So Talia, that's the message that I have for you. Jen Teeper, let's pick a card for you, and they are guiding us to this deck and this card right here. Let me see. Oh, it's that same card that we had before. So this is that energy. I just have a look. Oh, so Dana Michelle said, thank you, lovely. Appreciate your time. It does resonate with me, ensuring I am manifesting positive and being mindful of my thoughts. And the Mary Magdalene card is so beautiful too. Thank you. You're so welcome. It was such a beautiful card. You really can call on that energy and that presence of Mary Magdalene to help guide you and get you to trust that inner divine feminine energy and intuition that you have. So yeah, for Jen, deeper, we have this, which is the Six of Discs. So this is really about sort of like gaining control. It's really about like, you know, a period of adjustment, sometimes like transcending the difficulties on a physical level. You can see that there's, with this, sometimes I'll see it as coins that he's giving out. Sometimes I'll see it as kind of like food. Oh, so Talia is saying, thank you so much, SOLRETA. This is very helpful. Reaffirms to me that I'm exactly where I need to be and meant to be right now. And everything I'm doing will lead me to an exciting and golden future. Yeah, so what I'm feeling, that I'm seeing them say the words like take heed. Let's pick a card to represent. They're just wanting to show if there is any obstacles or anything like that. So we'll pop that one over there. All right, so following things that are kind of like golden, things that make you feel like you're kind of like lit up like the sun, and things that kind of like make your heart go like this. Oh, so Dana is saying, what do you mean by acting on this? So I think it was a swords card that we had for you, Dana. Sorry, I'm in channeling mode when I pick cards. But yeah, when we have swords cards, sometimes this is speaking of like that message of like acting upon something. So looking at what you need to take action on, or something that you've been pondering or thinking on, because it's connected to do with the air, which is also connected to do with thoughts and connected to do with intellect. So for Jen, this card, we'll flip it, and this is science. So okay, this is about remembering, we were just saying about like following that sun energy. What's interesting is it looks like the moon, this is the card of science, but it looks like the moon overshadowing the sun or eclipsing the sun. So remember I said like tuning into what makes you feel sort of like that golden energy as well. So yeah, this is interesting because science and spirituality used to be like one connected entity or one connected thing. This has got Mercury energy in it. So whether there's been some study and learning and different things that you've undertaken, and that's probably coming to a bit of a finalization, just to pare back and kind of like do away with things that no longer serve you. Clearing out any chaotic or old energy is also like what I'm seeing. This is sometimes like around like what you've been thinking too. So yeah, transcend the old, really start to like look at that adjustment energy and starting to get adjusted to like living with this gold frequency. I feel that this is trusting gut and trusting heart over mind. So perhaps like when you're feeling a vibe of something, checking in with your intuition. When we put the two of these together, this is both six cards too. So you're transcending something. You're transcending it on a physical level. You're transcending it on a, what I would say is sort of like more of an intellectual level as well. So really good sign. Let's pick a card for you out of the Goddess deck. So Mary Magdalene again. We just spoke about this before, how these cards come out like that. So might be collective energy as well for other people. We'll pop this card back here. So the apostle to all apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. And it's so funny that we've been pulling, you know, the same cards out, because look how many there is, you know, and we get the same like 2 times in a row. So this is very, very cool. Let's see. We have enough time for one card. John Philo, let's pick a card for you. All right, John. All right. This is interesting. As I'm shuffling the deck, it's like there's so much thinking going on that it's like it's hard to concentrate and focus on picking a card out of the deck. So this is a message of kind of like clearing and getting focused. So I'm just shuffling. They're talking about it's like needing to get out of your head. Yeah, now they're letting me pick a card. So this, yeah, look at this. Needing to get out of your head is what I just said. So we have the Hanged Man. This is perhaps about looking at something from a different point of view. What I actually feel with this is I feel that this is, it's like completely emptying your head if you can. Whether there's been too much on storage file is the words that I'm getting, like with this. There could be some kind of like expansion or knowledge as well taking place. I feel the energy is kind of connected to do with the heart in this. This green energy speaks of heart chakra. There's a bit of a coil there. There's this Ankh energy as well in life. But you can see like one of the things that we're drawn to the most is this snake energy. I'll just see what else we need to know from another deck. All right, they're picking another 2 cards. And it's, yeah, total like distracted energy is what I'm feeling within this. Whether there's someone around that's like a little bit distracted, or whether there might be like a little bit of an ADD thing going on, which is usually attention dialed into higher dimension. So whether you've got a little bit of that happening. We have the Knight of Wands. So this is like around kind of like thinking and things again as well, but it's also connected to do with, you can see the horse is orange. There's something like to do with confidence and different things. And I'll just bring this a little closer. So this is also about like acting upon an idea sometimes it can be about, but the horse is orange. There's some kind of like energy to see if there's anything else. I know in the other card, this is representative going through that dark night of the soul or going through that fire. There's a bit of a journey. You can see the pyramids in the background too. Yeah, look at these two together. Whether this has been a dark night of the soul type period and you feel that you're sort of like having to get on the horse and still keep kind of trekking, yet, you know, it might feel like the mind is just finding it a little bit hard to struggle with. So we have Fatima, the mother of Iams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. So this is a beautiful card. So really like connecting into that love energy, that divine feminine, that energy of Fatima. So you might be able to look her up on Google after we finish here and get like a little bit of insight. But I just want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you for your time. I do have a couple of spots for readings through the week. So we have half-hour readings, which are $50, and we also have 1 hour readings, which are $100. We do an aura drawing. So I look at the energies that are physically around you, or I should say etherically around you. We tune into your guides. We also pick some cards and we have time for questions. So for anyone wanting a booking for next week or over the next couple of weeks leading up to Christmas, which is a great time to like reassess and have a booking. John is saying, love that, resonate completely. I'm Egyptian also. Thank you so much. Lovely. I've always wanted to go to Egypt. I have some Egyptian friends too, and one of my friends lives there. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Please share, hit the like button. But yeah, booking link in the description. Thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful weekend.